क्लास 11th। आज का आपका टॉपिक है माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया। Mitochondria is the today's topic, a very important organelle present inside the cytoplasm of eukaryotic cells. And this mitochondria, it is known as the powerhouse of the cell, powerhouse of a cell, as it provides energy for various activities in the form of ATP. Therefore, it is a very important organelle. The number of mitochondria may vary depending upon the activity of the cell. Also, the shape and size of mitochondria may vary. Shape and size of mitochondria also varies. They may be 0.2 to 1.0 in length. Average length is 0.5. 0.2 to 1.5 m in length. Average is 0.5 and breadth may be 1.0 to 4.1 m. So far as the mitochondria is concerned, the chemical composition of mitochondria, what is present inside the mitochondria. Mitochondria may contain all the components, like there may be proteins present, there may be lipids present in mitochondria, there may be present very important enzymes that take part in synthesis of some biochemicals, also enzymes for aerobic respiration. These mitochondria are bounded by a double membrane. There are two membranes of mitochondria, inner membrane and outer membrane. Outer membrane covers the mitochondria and the inner membrane has enfoldings. These enfoldings of the inner membrane, they are known as cristae. Cristae are the enfoldings of the inner membrane which provide surface area for respiration, surface area for aerobic respiration. The inner membrane, has enfoldings. On the inner side of the inner membrane, there are stalked particles. Stalked particles having stalk and head. Stalk and head. Stalked particles are present. These are known as F1 particles. They may be also known as elementary particles. Elementary particles, they may also be known as oxysomes. They are also known as respiratory assemblies because respiration takes place with the help of these F1 particles or elementary particles, and energy is released in the form of ATP. And these two chambers, these two membranes, outer membrane and inner membrane, they form two chambers of the mitochondria. One is outer chamber, another is inner chamber. Outer chamber and inner chamber. जैसे आपने पढ़ा माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया के दो मेम्ब्रेन्स हैं, outer membrane and inner membrane. Likewise, there are two chambers, outer chamber and inner chamber. The outer chamber contains fluid and also many enzymes, whereas the inner chamber, which is known as the matrix, inner chamber contains matrix. inner chamber में matrix होता है, matrix of the mitochondria. In this matrix of mitochondria, there may be present so many substances, like there may be present DNA, small circular pieces of DNA, which are known as mitochondrial DNA. In the matrix, there are also present RNA pieces of RNA. In the mitochondrial chamber, in the matrix of mitochondria, there are also present the ribosomes. Also, these ribosomes form proteins. Therefore, mitochondria contains DNA. Therefore, we can say mitochondria is a self-autonomous body. It has its own autonomy, self-autonomous body. Self-autonomous means it is independent. It can be independent because it contains its own DNA, it contains its own RNA, it contains its own ribosomes. Also, there are some enzymes in the matrix. Therefore, it can also perform some activities independently. It can synthesize its proteins. It can also synthesize proteins. It is a self-autonomous body containing its own DNA, its own RNA, ribosomes. It can synthesize proteins. It can also divide by fission. It can also divide to form so many mitochondria. That is why it is a self-autonomous body containing so many important components. Mitochondria can be stand by Janus green stand. It can be differentiated by means of this stand, Janus green stand, and it can be identified by means of light microscope, but its structure can be understood by electron microscope only. इलेक्ट्रॉन माइक्रोस्कोप की मदद से हम इसका स्ट्रक्चर अंडरस्टैंड कर सकते हैं, लेकिन हम इसको आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं बाहर से या माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया विद हेल्प ऑफ सिंपल माइक्रोस्कोप के जरिए आइडेंटिफिकेशन, बट इट्स इलेक्ट्रॉन माइक्रोस्कोप स्ट्रक्चर कैन बी अंडरस्टूड ओनली विद हेल्प ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन माइक्रोस्कोप, एंड इट हैज बीन डिस्कवर्ड बाय कोलिकर. यू नो, कोलिकर हैज discovered this mitochondria, and Benda has given the name mitochondria. Name given by Benda and discovered by Kolikar. So far as the functions of mitochondria are concerned, अपने पढ़ा mitochondria, they are the powerhouse of the cell. Powerhouse because they help in respiration. Respiration occurs, and aerobic respiration to release energy in the form of ATP. They can also provide intermediates for the synthesis of so many biochemicals. Mitochondria can provide intermediates for the synthesis of so many biochemicals, like for the synthesis of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll synthesis के लिए ये provide करेगा intermediates. It can provide intermediates for the synthesis of cytochrome के लिए ये intermediates provide कर सकता है. For the synthesis of steroids and alkaloids. Also, mitochondria can help in the synthesis of fatty acids and amino acids. Fatty acid synthesis. Fatty acids and amino acids, उनकी synthesis में भी mitochondria help करते हैं. Very important for all the organisms to survive. Thank you.